Hello everybody, welcome all 35 of you. Yeah, baby. Welcome back to my continuing, dare I call it, campaign. How about continuing embarrassment as I force my way through the Dunwich Legacy campaign for Arkham Horror, the card game. And today we are going to be taking a look at Scenario 5, Undimensioned and Unseen, which I hope is not telling of my live play here today. I hope someone watches, at least. Hey, look at that, 43 of you now. What? Thank you, Kabuki Kid. Audio and video seem good. I appreciate that. So last time, I did Blood on the Altar here, and by the way, I do want to mention, if you're worried about spoilers here, you have very little to worry about because I'm doing so badly. On the last scenario, I got to read for this whole page that says "Do not read," stop till you play. I got to read this here, this, and all of this. Not for me. So again, not too many spoilers, I have to say. But anyway, last game I had to resign. The ritual was completed. I could not find a location. I could not find the key to get into that location. I did, however, get 6 experience points total. I think I earned 4 or something, and I had 2 left over. So I went ahead and spent those on a couple of new cards. And today we are going to do Undimensioned and Unseen. So let me read this to you, set the scene, and then we'll cut to the table here, and I will be off. All right, here we go. Your search of the village of Dunwich has uncovered a number of documents, journal entries, and esoteric theories. Reading through these materials leaves you exhausted and emotionally drained. Most of the content was written by a single source, a man named Seth Bishop. When you ask around town, you learn that Seth is a citizen of Dunwich. Along with several others, Seth has witnessed firsthand the devastation wrought by the events of the Dunwich Horror, as Armitage has dubbed the incident. Curiously, since that time, very few people had seen Seth around town, and those who did claimed his eyes had been bloodshot and his face sweaty and pale. Sounds like he's been hitting that sauce. You don't doubt that somebody has seen what Seth has seen, would appear nervous and paranoid. Man, I can't read today. Let's try that again. You don't doubt that somebody who has seen what Seth has seen would appear nervous or paranoid and would hit said sauce. But the more you read of his frantic and unhinged writings, the more you believe he is involved in recent events. His writings speak of having gathered the remains and of using arcane methods to imbue the Father's essence into other creatures and eventually into other people. The explanations and diagrams that follow are unfathomably complex and defy understanding. Before you are able to find Seth and confront him, several men and women from the village approach you in a panic. "It's back!" one of them wails. You recognize him as Curtis Whaley of the Undecayed branch. That's a family of people who live in town. If you saw the last scenario, you know what I'm talking about. Whatever it was that killed them, Fries, it's back. Up and smashed the bishop's home like it were made of paper. Curtis and the other townsfolk are clamoring amongst themselves, raising their voices in a panic. And so it gives me a choice here. It says the investigators must choose. I can try and calm down the townsfolk in order to learn more, proceed to part 1, or I can try to warn the townsfolk and convince them to evacuate, skip to part 2. It's getting crazy out here, folks. Last time I was running around town trying to find a secret, hidden room in which they were performing some freaky ritual. They killed a whole bunch of people, doctors and respected folks and my dog. So I would say book it. So we're going to go with that. Convince them to evacuate. Part 2. You warn the townsfolk that they are in grave danger and urge them to flee Dunwich while they can. Several of them immediately heed your advice, remembering the terrible monstrosity that had previously endangered the town. There you go. Curtis drops to his knees in despair, sweating feverishly. It's that thing again, ain't it? It's come back for us. Curtis stutters, as I'm doing. I hope you've got some of that powder the old professor had last time. We couldn't even see the darn thing until he sprayed it. To this day, I wish I hadn't seen it at all. Something must be done to stop the monster's rampage. But if the documents you found are true, there may be more than one such creature on the loose. Then I recorded my campaign log that I warned the townsfolk. I'll do that later. And then we set up. So I've gone ahead and set everything up. We've got the locations here for each of these locations. It's 1 out of 2. And also it tells me to check how many names are listed over here in my campaign guide under the sacrifices. So it says if there are 4, then I'm going to put into play 2 of these Brood of Yog-Sothoth. I set those aside at the beginning of the game. So that's done. And then I also was forced to add a new random basic weakness to my deck, which I have done. And that was, so I've got this basic weakness from before, and now I had to shuffle in another one, which ended up being this, drawing the sign. So that's now in play as well. I've also updated my deck to include a couple of new things. So I have an Elder Sign Amulet now to help me with my brain. And I also have a Keen Eye, which is a card that begins in play, has the permanent keyword, and it begins in play each scenario. So that's done, and then set everything up. I begin over here in Dunwich Village, so I'll flip that over. I'll come back to it in 1 second, but it does say it begins with 3 clue tokens on there. And then let's read these 2 decks up here. So let's see what we've got. Rampaging creatures. Reports of terrifying entities wreaking havoc across the countryside have caused the citizens of Dunwich to panic. Worse, the creatures seem invisible to the naked eye. Well, that's not good. Forced. At the end of the enemy phase, move each Brood of Yog-Sothoth once towards a random location. Towards a random location. Okay, so I guess that's why over here they say choosing a random location. Every time you're instructed to do so, I just shuffle the set aside ones and I pick one at random because these are all there's 2 copies of each of these. All right, so there's that. Okay, and then over here it says in the Act deck, the monsters tearing through Dunwich County are immune to traditional weapons. Only by reciting a particular incantation can the creatures be defeated. First, you must search the ruins of Wilbur Whately's home in order to find the final sections of the otherworldly script. Objective. Only investigators at Whately ruins may spend the requisite number of clues as a group to advance. So that is over here. All right. Let's check the comment. Da-da-da-da-da. All right. All right. Everything seems on the up and up. Let me shuffle this. So I need to watch out for, at the end of the enemy phase, those things moving around. And I need to remember that I gotta go find some stuff at Whately Ruins and get some clues. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. I'll put that over there somewhere. Is that in the shot? That is in the shot. That doesn't need to be in the shot. I got that. Oh yeah, baby, dynamite. Mess with me now, beasties. See what happens. I got my 2 trauma over here, by the way. And then I'm ready to begin. Pretty sure that's everything. So I started in Dunwich Village, as I said. It has 2 actions possible. First one, resign. You hide from the creatures. That's very likely. And then the second action, I get to move a brood enemy once towards the village here. All right. So that's done. Am I missing anything? Do they begin in play? I don't think these cats begin in play. It's set to set them aside. Here, if there are 4 or more names listed in my sacrificed section, set 2 copies of Brood aside out of play, and then I remove the other 3, which are just, gone. So yeah, that's done. Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da. Yep. I guess I'll see what happens. Okay. David is going to be helping me out. Thank you, David. Appreciate that. And then Bernard immediately contradicts him. Oh, baby, what a conundrum. It doesn't sound like they begin in play, guys. Let me do my thing, and y'all can figure it out. I got a flashlight. I got some dynamite. I got me a gun. And I have 5 resources. So, first action, flashlight. Always good when you're fighting monsters you can't see. Second, I am going to go ahead and gain a resource for my second action. And for my third action, I'm going to put the gun into play, which begins with 4 ammo. There we go. Let me get this out of here. All right. That's done. That was 1, 2, and 3. Then the enemy phase, nothing happens. Yeah, so, right, I did so badly before that the game, instead of beginning with these beasties in play, it only makes me deal with 2 of them, and they're not even in play yet. So, yes, that's how badly I did. Alright, that's that. So, I'm assuming something else will bring them into play. I'll just wait around for that. So, nothing in the enemy phase. And then upkeep, in which I gain a resource, and I draw a card, and I'm done. Back to the beginning of the top of the next round. I get one of these Doom tokens on the agenda, and we draw a card. Dissonant Voices. Revelation, put this in my threat area. I cannot play assets or events, and at the end of the round, I get rid of it. All right, that'll sit right there. It's time to do some investigation, I think. So, how do I want to do this? The shroud value over there is 2. My own investigation power is also only 2. Not great. I could try to brute force it, but that's probably not a good idea, seeing as to how many of these things are bad. Da-da-da-da, but a lot of them don't do anything if the brutes are not in play. So, you know what? Let's do it. Here we go. First action. -1, not good enough. Second action. -1, not good enough. Third action, I'm going to gain one of these. Got to roll the dice a little bit sometimes. I might have pulled it off. That's done. Draw a card, gain a resource. Good advice right there. Run for your life. Top of the round. I get rid of this, and I draw a new card. Oh, it's the birds. I hate this card. Actually, this one's not too bad. So I test 2 willpower. I increase the skills test difficulty by 1 for each damage on me. I have 2 damage on me, so it's 4. And if I fail, I take 2 horror. So 4. My skill is 4. And I will discard this for +1 right here. So it's 5. The test is 4. That one is 0. You must either remove all clue tokens from a Brood Sothoths in play, or this token is -4 instead. So, since I can't do the first, this is -4, which means I fail. And I take 2 horror. Will this be a very short campaign? It's possible. All right, so that's done. Now I have my actions. I really need to be able to search. Physical training's not going to do it. Keen Eye will do it for a bunch of resources. So fine. First action, I'm going to gain another resource. Second action, I'm going to spend 4 of these here for a +2. That's my second action. Oh, sucks. All right, I got 1 clue. And then for my third and final action, I could just take a resource, and prep for another go at this. Yeah, I think I will do that. So I'm going to gain another resource for my third and final action there. And then it's the end of the round. So I gain a resource, I draw a card. Pretty good, pretty good. And then top of the round. Third Doom token in play, and Towering Beasts. Good night. That's some freaky stuff. Peril, which means, again, nothing right now, because it just means I wouldn't be able to discuss it with my teammates. Revelation, attached to a Brood of Yog-Sothoth enemy in play. If that enemy is at your location, take 1 damage. Attached enemy gets +1 fight and +1 health. Okay. There isn't one. Okay, this is just discarded then. Am I missing something here? These things definitely don't begin in play. Does the back of rampaging creatures over here, is that going to bring them into play? Does anybody know? Help me out, Obi-Wan Kenobi. All right. That didn't do anything, so back to me. I'm still waiting just to hear if you guys are, those of you that might have already played this scenario, if this is all making sense so far. Okay, so there are encounter cards and can pull them into play. All right, no problem. So back to me. I am going to, I've been ignoring the flashlight this whole time, haven't I? I'm a doofus. All right, I'm not playing this very well. I'm sorry. All right, flashlight. Bring that down to zip. And then I'll investigate. That's my first action. It's this, which is -3, which means it resets to 0, which means I pass. Which is, again, I had a little bit of a problem with that last time, where if I was dropping the threshold on a location to 0, even if my modifier ends up being below 0, like with that pull, a -3, it's never a negative score, so it'll reset to 0 before I do the final check. I match it at least, which means I succeed. So that was my first action. Second action, I'm going to do it again, because I'm already here, so why not? -1 resets to 0 again, and I get it. That was much smarter than what I tried to do the whole first round. Well, second round. All right. So that was 1. That was 2. I'm going to go ahead and move. I can go to the Blasted Heath. I can go to the 10-acre meadow, or I can go to Cold Spring Glen down here. 10-acre meadow it is. I'm moving there for my last action. Vloop. 1 clue. And it has a triggered ability that says you lure the monster into the rain. Place 1 clue from the token bank on an abomination enemy in 10-acre meadow. At the end of the round, remove 1 clue from that enemy. I know that is because I'm going to be allowed to attack them more effectively if they have clues on them. I know that because I read some of the cards up there, the esoteric formula and the broods themselves. Someone just discovered ants in their living room. All right, cool. So that was 1, 2, 3. And I draw a card. I gain a resource. There are no beasties in play still. First aid. Very good, very good. And then next round. So we're going to go ahead and do that and draw a card. Revelation test 3. For each point you fail by, take 1 horror. This is not good. Okay. I am going to test 3. My total is 4. I do have a first aid that I could use in a bit. I don't want to chuck this because I'm going to need it. And physical training is such a good card. I really don't want to get rid of that either. Even though there is a little bit of overlap with Keen Eye here and physical training. How's my hand size doing? Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and chuck this. That might be something I regret later on, but I'm still going to do it. That's a bad idea, man. I'm still going to do it. I'm getting rid of this for +1. So my total's 5. I'm trying to pass a 3 test. That is -4. So my total was 5 minus 4 is 1. I failed by 2. And I take 2 horror. So I'll get rid of one of these and give myself a 3. I am currently at 4 horror out of possible 6. This could be the shortest game yet. That was nothing yet. So first action, I'm going to go ahead and put first aid into play. And it comes into play with 4 supplies because it's a souped up one. Second action, I'm going to spend one of these supplies and I get to heal 1 damage and 1 horror. That was second action. For my third action, I am going to move to Whately Ruins over here from the 10-acre meadow. Flip that over. It has 2 clues on there per investigator, so I just put 2 on it. And then it also says each investigator in these ruins gets -1 willpower. That's bad. And it also says another ability that lets me hurl a canister of paint at the monster, making it visible. I assume. Okay, fine. So no beasties in play yet, but I can deal with that later. So I played it for 1, I healed for 2, I moved for 3, and I can now go ahead and complete that objective, which is investigators at the ruins can spend the number of clues as a group to advance. It's 2 clues. So I'm giving up these 2 clues, and I get to advance to the to the next part of the act. So let's see. Check campaign log. If Dr. Armitage survived the Dunwich Legacy, yes he did, because he's in my deck somewhere. It says, there, Armitage sighs a breath of relief, jotting down the last phrases of the formula. I have translated the last of it. He shudders as he hands you the script, the words conjuring forth memories of his battle with the creature. I hope this is the last time I'll have to read it, he admits. But if we do nothing, the end result will be much, much worse. Each investigator puts into play one set-aside esoteric formula, which is this card here. The esoteric formula allows me to fight. I use my willpower instead of my strength, and I get +2 attack for each clue on the enemy, and this is only used for abominations, which is what the broods are. So I've got that in play. That's done. The new card here says, they must be destroyed. With the formula in hand, you finally have the means to destroy the creatures wreaking havoc in Dunwich, but only if you can survive long enough. That's a good point. Objective, defeat as many brood of Yog-Sothoth enemies as you can. If there are no copies of brood of Yog-Sothoth in play or set aside, advance. All right, I should be able to do this. Now, this game, I really feel like the game is throwing me, I mean, I'm not doing that well, but it definitely feels like the game is throwing me a massive bone because I did so poorly last scenario. Anybody else feel that way? I feel that way. That was my 3 actions, yes. No enemies in play still. Draw a card. Gain a resource. Cool. Top of the round, I add 1 doom to the agenda, but that's the 5th, so we're going to go ahead and advance that. And I'm assuming, as someone said, the powder in play, not in your deck. Yeah, I didn't have that powder. I did not do well the last scenario, so there was no powder to be had. What powder? I don't. Yeah, the powder that you're talking about in the last scenario was not something I got. I think you get it from some of the other. Something else gives you some powder or something. Yeah, I don't have that. Frothy says, I was just teasing you, no hard feelings. Oh gosh, no, please. It's fine. Everything is good. All right. Calamity strikes. What is this? The back of this deal. All right. An old pickup truck rolls to a stop along the weathered trails of Dunwich. The driver, Joe Osborne, calls out to you through a shattered driver's side window, the truck's engine still running. It's over at the Erics's farm, he shouts. Dawn blasted the place apart. Poor Henry and Martha. You ask Osborne for the location of the Erics's homestead, and he confirms your worst fear. For that attack to have occurred recently, there must be more of the monsters on the loose. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Spawn 1 of the set-aside broods at a random location if able. So discard pile into the deck. And then I have to spawn 1 of these beasties somewhere. Did you check the powder room? I don't think so. I don't think so, guys. I don't think I had the powder from last time. But what do I know? Maybe I wish I had played it online and people could have watched it and then told me, but I don't. No, I really don't remember. All right, so random location. I'm not looking. I'm looking up. I want the world to know Cthulhu's my bro. Oh, I'm looking up. That's where we're 10 Acre Meadows where the beastie's showing up. There he is. Da-da-da-da. He does not have Hunter. He's going to chill out right there. All right. Now that I've advanced the agenda, let me read the next one. And I still need to flip a card. Biding its time. Once in a while, a wind sweeping up out of Cold Spring Glen would bring a touch of ineffable Fetor? I don't know what that is. Stank smell to the heavy night air. But the looked for terror did not appear. Ugh, I don't like that sentence. Whatever was down there in the glen was biding its time, and Armitage told his colleagues it would be suicidal to try to attack it in the dark. Oh, that's actual Lovecraft writing. Come on, cat. I do like his writing for the most part, but some of it is a little funky. Forced. At the end of the enemy phase, move each brood towards a random location. So same deal as the last effect. And then I got to draw one of these. Oh, no, man, it's one of these demon birds. Aloof hunter, it messes me up by taking away 1 point of each of my 4 skills. So he is at the ruins right here, annoying me. All right. If only I had a 45 automatic to deplume you, beast. I got my actions. My objective is to defeat these things. And if I can get rid of 2 of them, I'm good. Because there's 1 in play. There is 1 set aside. I just got to deal with 2. Yeah, that's right. Larissa, a demon bird. You got the bird, Z, the bird. All right. What am I doing here? First aid is certainly looking good, but I got to deal with the birdie. I can engage it for 1. I can then blow it out of the sky for 2. That right? Yeah. Engage it for 1, kill it for 2, maybe heal for 3 and see what happens. That sounds like a plan, right? This thing's going to move randomly, so it's not going to matter yet. I might as well let it move and then see what happens. How do I put clues on this sucker? The locations let me do that. Okay. I have -1 here anyway, so I really do want to move out of here. It's not a good place to fight the ruins. Yeah, alright, so first action, I will heal. First aid, I take 1 and 1. Second action, 2 of these left on there. I'm going to engage the birdie. Third action, I'm going to shoot it with my 45 automatic. My total is 4 strength. I get +1 for the gun. I lose 1 for the bird. So I'm back to 4. I need to beat a 2 on it. I need an old lady with bird seed to distract them. Psychopomps. -2 is just what I needed. I guess you're just what I needed. I needed birdies to die. That's dead. And that was all my actions also, unfortunately. No beasties in play. No, this cat is in play. So at the end of the enemy phase, he moves. Somewhere randomly. There. The Devil's Hop Yard. It sounds like they make some fine beer or something. All right, so that's where it moves to. And then I draw a card, I gain a resource. What do I got? Beat Cop, I could use that. I have no allies yet. Top of the round, I add one of these to Biding Its Time agenda over here, and I draw a card. Oh, and I forgot when I engaged that thing, Right? Yeah, baby, one resource. I kind of remembered. I just read it now, but I did remember, technically. Eager for death. Revelation test 2 willpower. Increase it for each damage on me. Sweet. I don't have any damage. If I fail, I take 1 horror. Unfortunately, I am at the ruins here, which means I'm getting -1. Getting -1. I want to save this card. And I'm definitely keeping dynamite. Pff, that's not going anywhere. Fine. I will. Man. I'm passing a 2 test and my skill is 3 only. Well, I should have put... Oh, I got rid of it, didn't I? So wait, did I do something wrong? Da-da-da. At the end of the enemy phase, each brood moves once toward a random location. Oh, it doesn't move to a random location. It moves 1 step towards a random location. So the location is Devil's Hop Yard, and he was here. He has to go through Blasted Heath or the ruins. I'm going to say he went to Blasted Heath. All right. All right, there we go. I did that right. Okay, I fixed it. He could go from the metal. He could go... Oh, no, he can't go up here. You're right. You're right. He came over and hung out with me. Hello. There we go. Okay, let me deal with these bird psychopomp things first. I'm at -1. This might kill me. This might kill me. I have to deal with this. -1, baby. Yeah, something good just happened. So I'm good. I don't take the damage. But I am, however, engaged with this thing. Unfortunately, what I assume is the worst location, giving me the -1. I got my 3 actions, so here we go. I may do this triggered ability. I can hurl a nearby canister of paint at the monster. An investigator here may place up to 3 of their clues on an abomination enemy. Group limit once per game. Once per game. Dude, okay. I've only got the 1. If I give it that, then the esoteric formula is going to allow me to have +2 willpower to attack this thing. I would be at 3, 4, 5. The monster would be at 6. Yeah, I definitely should not have gotten rid of physical training. All right, well, fine. Okay, so there you are, buddy. Yeah, so it's Bernard says that the massive enemies stay on the location. Yeah, they basically attack everyone, which is why you don't want to move it. But if you're alone, you can basically move it. But yeah, I'll put it right there. Not that. That. I don't think I want to put the clue. I don't want to put a single clue on him, unfortunately. So I might try to evade it. I can't do this because I don't have enough sanity gone. I can also do this. What do I want to do here? His attack is 6. I can only attack him with this, which is 3 right now and sucks. Evading him would also be pretty tricky because I'm not super good at that. Plus your willpower. My willpower is 3 right now because I'm losing 1 from the ruins. Yeah, that's right. And I got nothing else. So, I want to keep this card because he's going to attack me once. I definitely have to cancel that attack. I don't have any other cards I can chuck to evade it. Man, that sucks. How do I do this? No. He cannot be attacked or damaged except for the esoteric formula. That's all I can do. But putting a single clue on him is wasting this once per game action. I could move and dodge the hit. Yes, that's true. I thought about that. But it doesn't accomplish what I want, which is gather more clues before I drop them on him. Me moving doesn't really help me with that too much. Though I think I see what you're saying. If I move to the 10-acre meadow, I could get that clue because he stays where he is if I run away because he's massive. Is that correct? Pretty sure that's right. And then I could just dodge the hit with this card, cancel that attack, and go get that clue. I haven't taken any other actions yet because I wouldn't have because he would have hit me. Or I could just investigate right now without having to move and block the attack of opportunity. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's do that. Flashlight. To investigate. He's going to attack me an attack of opportunity, which is 2 health, 2 horror, 2 damage, 2 horror. I'm going to block that attack of opportunity with my dodge. He doesn't hurt me. There we go. So that is 1 action to investigate. This location has 1. My own investigation is 2. If I spend a couple of these, it's 3. And with this, it's 4. I'm going to chuck that card. So it's 4 to 1, just in case. -2, that works. I get a clue. That was my first action. I'm going to go ahead and drop 2 of these clues on the brood. That's not an action. That is allowed by this card right here. Second action, I'm going to go ahead and fight with this. So I use my willpower instead of my strength, which is 3 being reduced by this, and there's +2 for each clue on him. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to his 6. He has 2 health, by the way. And I don't have an ability to improve that anymore. I sure don't. Let's try it. I didn't get a resource. I'm missing 1 resource. Yeah, I think you're right. I always forget to get the engagement resource. All right, here we go. Bam, -1. That'll do it. So I hit it. This only does 1 hit. Yeah. Alright, so he takes 1 damage, and then I'll do it again. Except, no, it's the same deal, right? 6 for him. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here we go. -1. Oh, yeah, baby. That hits him again. I was just beating him by 1, which means this dude is done. Victory 1. Da-da-da-da. Cannot be damaged. He's dead. 2 hits. He gets +1 health per investigator, so that's 2. He's done. Whew. Now I take a momentary rest. Certainly there are no more beasts about. Ah, more beasts? Let's go. That was my 3 actions. Enemy phase. No. No. Upkeep. Draw a card. Gain a resource. Flashlight. Very cool. And then top of the round. So another clue, or another, doom on the agenda there, and I draw a card. Sorted and silent. Revelation. Attach this to your location. At the end of the round, each investigator at attached location takes 1 horror. Forced, when the agenda advances, discard this. So I put this at my location, and I don't want to end there. Okay. Fair enough. It's time for me to leave anyway. It sucks here. This lets me go to 10 Acre Meadow. I can go to Cold Spring Glen, yes, or I can go up to Devil's Hop Yard. Well, I got a clue. Let's find out what's at the 2 places I haven't been to. How about that? I'm going to go up here to Devil's Hop Yard. That's my first action. It is a location that lets me do some crazy stuff. I got to tell you, I'm loving the flavor here. This idea of the cards themselves having an action, but it's described as flavor text. I dig that. That's very cool. This one says you lure the creature into the thick fog. An investigator in Devil's Hop Yard may place up to 2 of his clues on an abomination enemy that is in there, and I can do that once per game. So I'm moving there for 1. I'm going to go ahead and investigate for 2. No. I'm only beating it by 1. Zoe just sucks at investigation. Yeah, no, my second action, I'm going to go ahead and drop another flashlight in play. That means I'm going to be over 2 hands worth, so I'm going to get rid of this flashlight. Spend 2 to give myself 3 clicks on the flashlight. I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 of these to investigate. It drops it to 0. I should not fail this as I investigate. -1 resets me to, actually puts me at 1, so I beat it. And I get a clue. There we go. So that was my third action. Top of the round, or rather, clue card. There we go. And top of the round. Doom. Draw a card. Eager for death. Birdie birds. I have to beat this or I take 2 horror, and it's 2 willpower. My willpower right now is at 4. I'm just going to deal with that one. What? -1. Good to go. Oh man, I'm getting brave now. And first action, flashlight. Yeah, sure. I don't want to fail. Now, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go for it without the flashlight one time, see if I can get this thing. So first action. Yeah, baby, I got it. I get this clue. Second action, I might as well move around. I'm going to go to the blasted heath. Well, hold on. Let's see if I can add some stuff here to what's in play. I really need some emergency moolah. That was one action I've taken so far. One action so far. I really want to get this beat cop into play, to be honest. Second action, third action. That's what I'm doing. No enemies, draw a card, gain a resource. Right of seeking. This allows me to investigate more effectively. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're still good. Doom. And draw a card. The chips for the game, the plastic bits, is what someone's asking me about. They're for holding coins, like collectible coins. You can just get them. I think I got these on Amazon. You can just get them just about anywhere. Look up collectible, like coin cases, I think they're called. I forget. And these are 26 millimeters, I want to say. All right, so I bumped into this, the creature's tracks. Revelation, you must either take 2 horror or spawn a set-aside brood of Yog-Sothoth at a random location. Done. I'm doing it. You know why? Because I'm going to kill it. Wait, hold on. I want that cop in play before I kill it. Don't I? Maybe? No, I'm spawning it. These are the set-aside ones. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, you just ordered a copy off of Amazon, the same ones. Yeah, I got mine from Amazon too. It came with, I want to say, 25 of them, something like that. It's not quite enough for every token, but all right, I'm trying not to look. I don't want to cheat. That one. That blasted Heath. Heathen. Where is he? There we go. Come on. Get in there. Get in there and fight. All right, there we go. Yeah, the capsules really are fantastic. They feel good. They work well. They're nice and clinky, so I like them. I'd recommend them. Okay, my turn. I am going to... I don't necessarily want to walk in there and deal with this guy. I'm going to move... Well, I'm going to play the bead cop before I forget to do that. I definitely want this in play. So he's coming into play. If nothing else, because he gives me that buffer of health and sanity. So 4 of these for that. And he's in play. That's the first action. Second action, I'm going to move... Oh, that sucks. I don't want to be caught here again. I can go to where he is, or I can go down here, and then from here I could go somewhere I haven't been. I'll do that. So second action, third action, Cold Spring Glen. And I'll reveal that. And I put 2 clues on it, and it says each enemy there gets -1 evade. That's good. And it allows me to lure the creature into the dense tree cover, and it becomes tangled. And we, the investigators, may, as a group, place 2 other clue tokens on the abomination if it's here. Sweet. That's done. And I took my 3 actions. Nothing else I want to deal with right now. Cool. Enemy phase. At the end of the enemy phase, each one of the beasties moves to a random or one step towards a random location. I'm glad you got rid of those ants. That we deal with that kind of thing all the time here in Florida, so good on you. Bam, bam, bam. Am I shuffling the right thing? Yeah. Bam, bam. Ta-da. Oh, baby, baby. Cthulhu is gonna get me. The ruins. Okay. There you go, little buddy. Wait, does he move? Let me do this right. I'm sorry. He can't just go there. He moves one step towards there, which means through the Devil's Hop Yard, the finest beer in town. Devil's Hop. So that's where he goes. All right. I've already done this action, so I can't do that one again. I might be able to take this thing right now, right? Is there anything else in my hand here I really want to play? No. Let's do it. Let's do it, man. Yeah. So I get to move for one. I can't move there? Why can't I move there? Oh, I got to go through here. I'm only going to get one hit on this thing. Ah, that's all right. So I move here for one. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm skipping like a ton of stuff. I haven't done anything besides moving. I got too excited. All that happened was he moved. That's it. I get a resource. I draw a card. This could work, I think. It's a skill card that says if this skill test is successful during an attack, that attack deals +1 damage. I know I'm not using my strength modifier, but can't I technically add this to the check? That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. I know if I was attacking the brood, I would technically be using my willpower, but could I throw this card on top of it also, even though the symbol wouldn't help? I don't know. Let me know if you have the answer to that. All right, so that's done. We move on. And I flip another one of these. Ruin and Destruction. Revelation. If there are no investigators at the same location as a brood, Ruin and Destruction gains surge. And otherwise, some stuff happens. All right, so this is nothing. Surge. Altered Beast. Revelation. If there is no abomination enemies in play, this gains surge. But there is an abomination in play. Heal all damage from that enemy and attached... What? Oh, I guess there's a typo here. If there are no abomination enemies in play, Altered Beast gains surge. Fine. Otherwise, choose an abomination enemy. Heal all damage from that enemy and attach Altered Beast to it. It says attached. When you enter the enemy's location or vice versa, I take a horror. Fine. Okay. All right. Where was I? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move to try to kill this thing. So first action takes me there. Yes, second action takes me there. He engages with me. Well, okay, I'll leave it there. I'm sorry. Which means I take a horror. And I'm going to give it to the cop because who cares? I don't want to get any closer in case I get some more terror. And now I will go ahead and do this action. I lure the beast into the thick fog. I go ahead and I add 2 of my own clues to it. And for my last action, I move for 1, I move for 2. For my third and final action, I'm going to try to kill this thing, or hurt it anyway, right here. Which is, I use my willpower instead of my strength. It's 4. I get +2 for each of those clues. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to his 6. And I don't have anything I can discard on top of that. I mean, dynamite, but I don't really want to get rid of dynamite. I like it too much. That's probably bad. No, that's not so bad. -1 for each brood in play. That's a success. Which means I put 1 damage on it. It takes 2 to kill, but I'm out of actions. And so then he attacks me for 2 and 2. I will take... I'll give 1 here, 1 for me, and the 2 health to the beat cop, who is dead. These 3 I'll convert for 1 of these. Okay. Then he moves randomly. Oh. To the ruins. Can he go right to the ruins? Yes. Yeah. So he goes right to the ruins right here. There's a lot of stuff going on right there. That's the end of the enemy phase. I draw a card, I gain a resource, and we move on. So 1 new doom means that this will advance. That's probably not good, but I got this thing on the ropes. It says, shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Fine, I'll do that in just 1 second. If there is a set-aside brood of Yogg Sothoth, the lead investigator reads the following out loud. I do not. So that's that. Oh, no, I still got to do this. So, spawn 1 of the set-aside broods at the lead investigator's location if able. I'm not able. Then, each investigator at that location tests for ba-da-da. So, no, nothing happens. And I got to shuffle this. I got to get a resource for engaging. Thank you. Sorry. All right. I got to draw a card. Ruin and destruction. If there are no investigators at the same location as a brood, this gains surge. Done. Frozen in fear. I put this in my play area and my threat area. And the first time I perform either a move, a fight, or an evade, it costs an extra action. And at the end of my turn, I try to get rid of it. Alrighty. Let's do that. Man, this thing. 1, 2. If I move, I have to do the 1, 2. Oh, and I forgot to read this. Horrors Unleashed. It was no joke tracking down something as big as a house that no one could see. But that had all the vicious malevolence of a daemon. A daemon. Each abomination enemy gets +1 fight and +1 evade. That's good to know. And then has a forced ability at the end of the enemy phase. Each one moves randomly again. So they're a little tougher now. And I definitely don't want to fight this thing at the ruins. Have I still not been to the blasted heath? I guess not. All right. Then I will do that. 1-2 because of Frozen in Fear. Two clues there. And unfortunately, if I'm still there at the end of my turn, I take 1 damage. I don't care. I will investigate it. I'll use a flashlight to bring that down to 1. I'm a 2 myself. And I will discard Rite of Seeking to bring me up to 3. So I'm beating it by 2 right now. That is reveal another token. If you fail, take 1 horror. That's fine. I don't fail. And I got 1 of these. Then at the end of my turn, I am going to take 1 damage, and I am going to test Frozen in Fear to try to get out of it. 3 willpower. I have 4 willpower. Fine, I'm getting rid of this. 5 willpower. That's -1 for each brood in play, so I'm good. Bam! Then this thing moves randomly again. Where is the... There we go. Right? Yeah. Does the attachment at the location go away? Yeah, when the agenda advanced, this would have gone away. Thank you. Technically, that should be shuffled in. I'm going to go ahead and do that. He moves towards the blasted heath, which from here takes him here. Okay, there he goes. Let me shuffle this into the deck, because again, technically it would have been. And then draw a card, gain a resource. And then I move on to the next round. 1, Doom, Surge, Revelation. Each Yog Sothoth moves towards you. He indeed will get to where I am. I'm just going to move it over here in front of, well, that's fine. I'll put him here. So he's with me. And that has Surge, so I got to draw another one. If there are no investigators at the same location as a brood, this gains Surge. Otherwise, each investigator at the same location has to test 3 agility. For each point you fail by, I take 1 damage. 3 agility is my test. I may not. Oh, yes, I can. Ha ha ha. I can use this. But I really want this to have... I really don't want to use this for this guy. 3 agility. For each point I fail by, I take 1 damage. Yeah, no. I'm keeping this. This one I'm using. That has 1 agility on it. I'll do that. So my agility is actually just a base of 2. This gives me +1 agility if I dump it for 3, which is what I'm testing against. Not great, but I got a lot of health, so. Look at that, +1. Haven't seen that all game, so I'm good. And then I can take my turn. By the way, when he walked into me, I would have taken 1 damage for him stepping into me, and, 1 resource. I think I'm ready to attack this thing. That sound about right? I could always, if I don't do it, I'm going to try twice, and if I don't kill it, then I'll go ahead and run for my life and evade this thing. Run for my life. All right, so here we go. Esoteric formula says I have fight. I'm using 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and his total is +1 evade and +1 damage. Is it? Fight. So he's at 7. I'm at 6. No. I'm at 8. I'm sorry. I'm at 8. He's at 7. And I don't have any cards I can discard. And I don't have the ability to pump it up anyway. So I'm 1 under. Here we go. -1. Bam! I've only just begun to win. I believe I killed the beast. Oh, this brood is gonna make me feast on filthy tentacles. This is getting weird. All right, I just killed. I just killed the last brood, which means this should advance. Defeat as many broods as you can. If there are no copies of it set aside or in play, I advance. As you complete the incantation, the foul creature cries out with a raucous, inhuman voice. It rumbles and cracks, the syllables of its croaking far from English. As its cry plays out, the creature shrinks upon itself, and then, with little warning, it is gone. All that remains is a foul stench and a repulsive mark that mars the vegetation where the beast once stood. Resolution 2. Oh wait, what happened? What did I do wrong? No, that's right. Yeah, I killed it. He had 1 hit on him. Yeah, I did that right. I'm pretty sure I did that right. Help me out. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Frothy. Z did it again. He's still breathing. Oh man, it's the confidence is what does it. Thank you. All right, here we go. So, resolution 2. What do we got here? It's just this little piece right here. And it says, after slaying what seems to be the last of the rampaging monsters, you retreat to Zebulon's home, exhausted and rattled by your experience. In your campaign log, record that no brood escaped into the wild. If an investigator's deck contains the Powder of Ibn Ghazi card, remove it from the investigator's deck. No. Each investigator earns experience equal to the victory X value of each card in the victory display. And to be continued in the next Mythos pack where Doom awaits. So I killed 2 broods. That gives me victory 1 for them too. None of the locations have victory values. I don't think I did anything else that gives me any victory points. So I'm walking away with 2 new victory points here. And that's it. Esoteric formula, of course, is going to go away. I definitely feel like the campaign was getting really, really, really tough. And after the last scenario, or rather at the beginning of this scenario, they're really like, okay, how badly are you getting beat? Let's sort of readjust, you know. And that's, I like that. I like that they kind of, you know, allow me to make a little bit of a comeback because it's getting rough. All right, cool. So let me just clean this up. If anybody has any questions or anything, let me know. If you're not understanding something, I appreciate all your help, by the way, helping me get through it. If anyone, again, has any questions, I'll be happy to answer those. And if not, then I'll just wrap it up. That was a fairly short scenario. I mean, it took about an hour and 5 from the time I started playing, hour and 5, hour and 10. All right. Yeah, this keen eye purchase, I like starting with that. It wasn't super helpful in this scenario, but it's also pretty expensive. I didn't get any of my emergency cards either, the ones that give me all the resources. Yeah, Rob's saying I did have better luck this game. That's true as well. And this scenario does seem to be an easier one. That's also true. Yep. Okay, Edward had a question. Thank you, Gregorius. He said, first time I've caught the play live, and they're in England. Edward is in England. Love all of them. Could you possibly do a starting deck build for the base game and include an upgrade tutorial type session? Starting deck build for the base game and include an upgrade tutorial type session. I mean, I could. I've been talking about the new cards I put into the play, but I am going to be done with this campaign. I think after one more scenario or two more scenarios. I think. So after that, I might do something different with what I'm doing as far as like recurring live plays of whatever I feel like playing. So I could see myself doing a video about that, you know, maybe. I don't know, though. I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm that good at this game, so I would feel weird about giving you tips and tricks of how to do this well. I don't think I'm very good at it. Clearly, I keep forgetting stuff, and yes, I know I'm streaming, so it's a little trickier to keep it all straight. This doesn't normally happen when I'm not narrating everything I do. But, I don't know. I don't think I'm that good at it. All right. This scenario is the only one my 4-player group lost. That's interesting. Well, you probably came into it having done really well on the last one, which means this one scaled the other way for you, if that's what happened, right? Because for me, I came in from the last scenario having, beat me up pretty bad. So I could see that this one kind of adjusts what's going on. Hey, man. I'm pretty much ready to wrap it up. Derek just walked in, everybody. That's what that was. Any other questions, anybody? Okay, I've already got the next one scheduled. By the way, the next live play will be next week. Same Cthulhu time, same Cthulhu place. So please come on back and check that out. It's going to be, as I said, as it says at the end of this one, where doom awaits. So I will see you then, everybody. I'm glad those of you that are sticking with the live playthroughs are here. Thanks for joining me, as always. Thanks for your advice and for helping me out. And I will see you all on the next one. Have a good day. See ya.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.